the United States defined itself and its foreign policy as essentially NATO plus its East Asia allies, Japan, Korea, Australia, New Zealand. And so the rest of the world said, well, okay, what about us? If the U.S. uses this endless and I find ridiculous phrase, friends and allies, friends and allies, friends and allies, while everyone else is feeling as foes and enemies. And so the rest of the world is getting together because it can't really just be subjected to a kind of divide and conquer strategy. And that's essentially what pulled India, China, Brazil, South Africa, Russia together in the first place. The BRICS was originally just an interesting group of middle-income or fast-rising countries, but it became a geopolitical entity basically pushed by misguided U.S. foreign policy. Then, as the U.S. increasingly weaponized the international economic scene, especially weaponizing the dollar, which is a shocking thing to do. If you have the privilege of your currency being used by others as money, you shouldn't go around confiscating other people's money, because that's the opposite of what money is. Money is supposed to be a means of transaction, not a foreign policy instrument. In any event, because of the weaponization of the dollar and the pervasive use of sanctions by the U.S., in addition to seizing other countries' assets, the BRICS took on yet another role, which was not only as a kind of geopolitical counterweight to U.S. bullying, but absolutely as a practical necessity to find ways to trade with each other. I've been in so many places in recent months where the problem of the sanctions on Russia hit countries you can't even imagine. And the reason is they want to continue to do normal business. It's not their business. They don't like the U.S. sanctions, but their banking system is linked to the SWIFT banking system. So the U.S. threat to impose sanctions on these third countries is taken as absolutely credible. Even in China, many of the major Chinese banks are part of the SWIFT system or are vulnerable to it. They have correspondent bank relations. And so the reach of the U.S. sanctions is significant right now. It's not that you can't work around it, but this was the normal system. And the normal system was that there was a means of payment that was integrated around the world. And then the United States weaponized it. And so what will happen in Kazan and what will happen in the coming months and years is creating an alternative system. And there are many different variants under discussion. It's not simple because, again, even countries that don't want any part of these conflicts and this geopolitical opposition are trapped right now. And so this is what is under discussion. I don't think that there's a settled answer. We can talk about all of the different technical possibilities, but there will be non-dollar payments of a number of sorts. And that, I think, is going to be a bit of a game changer, not fundamental, but a bit of a game changer in the world. And it will definitely further weaken the United States claims to